Hi guys, it's Eileen from There's a Crafty Idea. This is my first ever YouTube video, so if I'm nervous I'm really sorry. I've never done this before. I've been a crafter all of my life and I've taught craft. I've worked with other people to do projects together. And just recently, the last couple of years, I've been getting into the junk journals, and I absolutely love doing junk journals. And I've sold a few of mine, so I've decided to open up an Etsy shop. And I've never done that before because I've always sold on craft fairs. And then I thought, well, I'll start a YouTube channel because I've been inspired by some absolutely amazing crafters on here. Gail Agostinelli, I absolutely love Gail's channel and never miss a video. And Roxy Creations, Joanna Clough, Shabby Dabby Doodah, so many. I wish I could name everybody, I really do, because you're all wonderful ladies and wonderful crafters, and you've inspired me to go ahead and do it. So hopefully you'll enjoy these videos, and they're going to be craft with me's, tutorials, flip throughs of products, and today I'm starting off with a haul video because I've been running out just lately of my vintage ephemera and bits and pieces, so I've been on a bit of a hunt round for anything that I can find, really. So I've been very lucky that we've got some within driving distance. There's some great little towns and villages that have got wonderful vintage antique stores, and even like charity shops. And so I've been on a hunt. So the last couple of weeks I'm going to show you what I've got, and I hope you enjoy. So the first thing is this. Isn't this lovely? Oh, it's just such a lovely book, and the cover is great, and it's quite it was a charity shop find. It's quite an old book, and it's going to make a lovely little journal. Excuse me for the amount of times I say but the paper in it is so old and grungy and gorgeous, and it's fallen apart already, so I don't actually feel too bad about taking this one apart, because I think sometimes, and I know that you'll understand, you get too precious about these antique books and you think, oh God, I can't take that apart, it's so gorgeous. So when I get them in this state, I'm quite happy, because I know that they're already falling apart, and I don't feel quite so bad when I take the guts out of them. But yeah, I'm thinking this might make a nice Christmas journal, because the patina on it is so lovely, and it's all gold embossed, and I thought if I put a nice Christmas image over there, it'll be lovely. So that'll be one of my upcoming Christmas ones. And talking of Christmas, I'm just going to shove a few things about. I found this lovely book. Now, these 60s, 70s books are great, and I don't think this one at Brown Watson, I think this might actually be 80s, but still, yeah, 1986. The artwork in it, the pictures are absolutely gorgeous, and there's just such a vintage, and I can't believe I'm saying vintage about 80s. It's when I grew up. I'm vintage, oh my word. There you go. Growing older, eh? So yeah, I love the images in this, so that's going to be great for when I do my Christmas journals, which won't be long now. Where has the summer gone? Or more adept is what summer did we have? I'm not going to whinge about the weather. Seems to be an English pastime. So anyway, the next find I had was in an antique store, and it's a marvellous store, and it was in Berwick-upon-Tweed, which is in the northeast of England, and it's called Vintage Upon Tweed, and this is what they use to wrap the products when you buy them. And isn't that great? That's going to come in so handy for collage. Yeah. And Berwick-upon-Tweed is up by the Scottish borders. It's a lovely little town, and they've got some fantastic antique and vintage stores. Really great. So this first one is out of copyright. Look at the colour of these pages. They're just gorgeous. I mean, so lovely and beautifully aged. And the good thing is, even though it's all paper, it's not cracking. So I don't know if you can see that, but it's not actually cracking, it's just still very pliable. So what I think I might do is I'm going to scan a few of these because they are so gorgeous. And they have a lovely aged patina to the paper. So I might make a digital pack up, or I'm going to have a play with some digital packs. So these, I might actually use these in a couple of them as backgrounds and things. So hopefully that'll work out okay. I've never done a digital pack before, so we'll see. We'll see how it goes. But yeah. And then the other one I got, excuse me, is a hardback book. Just quite unusual for music paper, and look at that paper, isn't that gorgeous? Isn't that lovely? And again, this one is well out of copyright, 1862. So this is one of those precious ones that I'll never be able to take apart, even though that's what I bought it for. But I will. You know what it's like. You know what it's like. But yeah, it's great. So I will be adding that to a digital pack too. And then hopefully we can all enjoy it. That's great. I also got this lovely little flower book, and this one is, I'm sure this is in the 80s too. Can't remember, 70s or 80s. But I used to buy these for my two girls. I've got two daughters, and I used to buy these for them because they were fairy mad when they were little. And my mum always did say that I was away with the fairies, so we made our own little fantasy fairy world when they were little. Oh, it was great. So they've been on at me for making some of these, and yeah, the pages are the perfect size for tags, pockets, and the artwork is beautiful, isn't it? So yeah, I'll be maybe making some fairy journals soon. I think I might do some seasonal fairy journals. And then again, this book, it's just a vintage book, but look at this cover, isn't it lovely? And this is it's a story and song book, so there is actually a few bits of music paper in there as well. And again, this is really old paper, and it doesn't crack. It's very thick. I think when these books were made, they used to use really thick paper, which is great because it stands the test of time. But sometimes it has a tendency to crack. But again, this one is still quite supple. I think that they've been kept really well, and you can see all the patina on. Yes, like me, it has age spots. And I was out of my cards. I've just used up the last of my cards, so I was so happy to find these. And these ones are gorgeous. Look at that horse, isn't it lovely? And they're just normal cards on the other side, but this image is lovely, and you can see it's gilded around the side. So these will be great for collaging on the back, and then using them as little tags and tuck spots and just general little add-ons. And then this one is my favourite, I've got to say. Look at that. These are just gorgeous images. And I don't think, I can't find any dates on these. I could look them up on the internet, and I think I will do. But what gorgeous images. And they are going to make lovely altered playing cards. And I'm actually doing up some packs of playing cards at the moment to put into the Etsy shop, which is why I've run out of cards. And I might add a couple of these in actually, even though I've already packaged them up. But hey, these things happen. And then these are some lovely little printed images. They're not hand drawn or anything. There's no artist's name on them. No, there is a Jeff Prince. I just think that's who's printed them. But they've been took out of the frames, and they've got the little wooden frame that goes on them, which will come in handy because I'm making up some cabinet cards at the moment out of my vintage photos, and they'll come in handy for that. But the images themselves are lovely, and they're a lovely size for a tag or a journaling card, and they're going to be just great in a lovely journal. I think they're all of the same village as well, Sturbridge Village, wherever that is. If you live in Sturbridge Village, you'll recognise these buildings. And then I went to an antique store, And it was one of those antique stores where you get lots of different sellers putting all of their different things into the store, and then you've got one person who obviously runs the store and sells for everybody. And there was one lady who was selling lots of vintage ribbons, linens, fabrics, threads, wools, and I could have spent a fortune, but I had to limit myself. So what I did was I found some nice trims. So this one, I don't think the camera's showing it up very well, but it's actually got a very, very subtle peach tint to it. It's like an embroidery on glaze. Embroidery on glaze? Not sure. Yeah, embroidery on glaze. And it is lovely, and that's going to be gorgeous for the edge of a page, or, you know, there's so many uses for these lovely vintagey things. And then this again is lovely, and it's got, you can see where this has actually been on, it's either been on a tablecloth or an article of clothing. It's actually, you can see where it's been handmade, and it's been took off, and you can see the different, you know, the age of it through the different patina on it. And you get these things, and it's like the books. You look at them and you think, oh, somebody sat there and made that maybe 100 years ago. I'm not going to cut it up and put it into a jar. I'm trying not to be so precious. I was showing a friend of mine, and she was saying, well, why don't you make a digital, and then you can cut it up as many times as you want. So maybe do that. This one's so delicate. It's very, very delicate, but isn't it pretty? Oh, it's lovely. That one hasn't been handmade. I think that's been, although I don't know, I'm not sure. It might have been machine made. And then this one, this is quite a heavy one, and it's a lovely one, this. So yeah, I think this has been machine made, but it's so heavy. It's about perfect for pockets and things. And oh yeah, just love it. And then there's this one. Oh, isn't that gorgeous? I love this. And again, you can see the age that's on it, and it's just beautiful. You can see actually some of the threads where it's been sewn onto whatever it was part of, and then taken apart. And with these old linens, I mean, I know from stories told of my family, it was what you did. If you had a hole in the tablecloth, you didn't throw the whole thing away. You could have patched out and put a patch in, or you took the lace off and put it onto a new tablecloth. And that's what happens with these old linens. So sometimes it's impossible to tell the age of them. But yeah, they're great. And then I had this lovely find here. Now I think I've checked the copyright on this one, and this one is actually out of copyright. So it's got 48 plates in colour, and they're all lovely flowers, and aren't they gorgeous? So I'm not sure if I'm going to do a digital pack with these, or if I'm just going to use them in upcoming journals. But yeah, they're just beautiful. Aren't they gorgeous? So yeah, again, a nice old book there, and the book itself's quite nice. So I think that'll be a nice cover if I ever do decide to take it apart. So yep. And then this one, excuse me. I love this one because again, it's in that state where you know, it's lost its cover. It's only got a little bit of the spine left. I don't mind taking this one apart, even though it is such an old book. It is the poems of Lord Tennyson. So, and they're just, it's beautiful paper, and it's got some gorgeous images in it as well. I mean, look at these. Oh, isn't that gorgeous? So romantic. And beautiful images, which I definitely will, if this is definitely out. I think it is out of copyright. I definitely will be using some of these images in my digitals, because they're just so gorgeous. And again, I mean, this book would have ended up in a landfill somewhere, so the fact that it's going to be saved and used for something else, yeah, that's great. And if I can use the digitals, that's even better, because it means more people get to see such a beautiful thing. And then I found this. I love this. It's a postcard, and it's all hand stitched, and it's got Merry Christmas on, and it's beautifully stitched. Whoever stitched this is really, really good. And then on the back it says, "To Dick from Tom, a boozy Xmas." Isn't that great? I love that. I absolutely love it. So yeah, that's gorgeous. That was a really great find, and that'll be excellent in one of my Christmas journals. And then I've got these now. There's the Brook Bond tea cards, which are great. This book wasn't full when I got it, and there has been some damage to the cards, and obviously where they've been stuck on, they've got, so I mean you would have to probably cover the back or do something with the back, but the images are gorgeous anyway. And then I found this, and this is even better because it is full, and these cards are actually, they're just popped in, so there's no damage to them whatsoever. They're as good as the day they were made, and they are actually quite vintage. And yeah, they're going to be great because I can just pop them in, tip them in, and there you go. You've got some gorgeous images there, and it'll look lovely. Gorgeous. So I was really happy with those because I've run out of them. And here we go, my Ladybird books. Now I think these Ladybird books are the UK equivalent of the American little golden books, and I've watched Gail Agostinelli. I'm sorry Gail if I haven't said your name right. Hi Gail. She did quite a few videos on how to use the little golden books to turn into journals, and it inspired me to start thinking about these. I love these books because they remind me of when I was a kid. I was born in the 70s, and you know, a lot of these are from the 70s, the 60s and 70s, and I had quite a few of these when I was a kid, and I just think that they're great, and they're a nice size, especially if you're buying them to give them as a gift, you know. It's just a nice little, and anybody born when these were out is going to love it. So I'm not going to flick through them all, I'm just going to show you which ones I've got. And these ones were great because it's different, the different seasons. I'm just missing spring, so I'm looking for spring. If anybody knows where I can find it, drop me a message. And then obviously some of them are just picture books, and I do love using the pictures from these in my journals because they're just gorgeous images, aren't they? Look at that, how perfect is that? And then this one was my favourite book when I was a kid, and I did keep my copy and I gave it to my daughter, but she won't let me touch it because I was going to use it, but no, she won't let me. And then this one, yeah, so they're great, and I'm going to do a full series on how to turn these into a journal, which will be coming up soon, so hopefully you can watch that and enjoy watching the process. And then I found this lovely, it's not silver, I wish it was, but it's not, it's an old antique clip that you would use on a shawl to keep your shawl closed, and as you can see it's got a little mechanism on the back that just closes, and how great is that instead of using a paper clip? So that I'm going to definitely use that in one of my journals, so you'll probably be seeing that on a flip through soon. And then I got this fantastic vintage upholstery fabric. Now I got this, I'm sure I got this in the Vintage Upon Tweed shop, and it's just so nice, and it's quite thick. That's going to make some lovely covers, and I do like the feel of it for an autumn cover because it's got kind of the autumny colours in it, so maybe that might be an autumn one. So yeah, and that was that. So I hope you've enjoyed this whole video. I hope you've enjoyed my first video. I really hope that you like this video and subscribe, and that you come back and see my other videos, which I hope there's going to be many of. And thank you for watching, and I will see you all later. Bye.